It's time now for the West Holmes Knights Football Weekly Preview Show, brought to you by MRV Siding Supply.
This week's Knights Football Weekly Preview Show brought to you by MRV Siding Supply. I'm Matt Quayle alongside Will O'Donnell. West Holmes' 24-13 playoff victory over East Liverpool for their trip to the regional semifinals now for a fifth consecutive year. You look back to that last game, really a key play at the end of that first half. West Holmes was actually down in that game, and kind of a gutsy call by Keaton Lepla. West Holmes could have kicked the field goal at the end of that half. They go for the touchdown, and obviously it paid off.
Yeah, I think this time of year you make those kind of decisions because there's no tomorrow. And, I think it was 6-3, and Smith was able to get in there with, about 5 seconds, maybe 3 seconds left. And you're right, but, those are the decisions you're going to make this time of year. And I think Keaton Lepla knows he's got a team that's we're going to respond and rally in those situations. And I think you're going to see more of those kind of decisions.
And they did. Their offensive line certainly doing the job. They got the lead there. They were down again in that third quarter, but coming back, Len Klein, the go-ahead touchdown on the ground. And as we've seen so many times after that, Logan Zollers, Morgan Eastep, Morgan Smith coming with that 60 yards touchdown pass, connecting with a big score.
Yeah, I think it was something we saw the last 2-3 weeks of the season, the big plays back in that offense. And Zollers look like the Zollers of old to us, and I think we're going to need a little more of that this Friday, too.
Morgan Smith, a very talented quarterback for West Holmes, and on the other end, talented quarterback for East Liverpool, and Gavin Wright here, but the West Holmes defense really shutting their offense down in that fourth quarter.
They did, and we saw that. It was a continuation of that second half of the round 2 playoff game where they pitched a shutout, and I think when their back's been against the wall, that defense has been somebody we could count on all year.
All added up to another playoff victory for West Holmes.
Jake Sottle here with Knights head coach Keaton Lepla. Coach, going back to that game against East Liverpool, we knew it was going to be another dogfight, kind of like we saw against Unioto, and your team was down in that game but never gave up, able to come back and get the win.
Yeah, it's this team, we've identified, they got grit, they got toughness, and right now, we got a collective group of individuals that, believe in themselves, believe in what we've created, believe in this program, and honestly believe in one another. So, yeah, it hasn't been the prettiest at times. It hasn't been perfect, but, these guys continue to find a way, and, you can't ask for much more to be sitting there as a 13 seed in the regional semifinals.
Coach, some of these play calls we've seen in the playoffs, I think really just shows how much you trust these guys to get out there and get the job done with a few, what some people call more gutsier play calls.
Yeah, it's, that's all it is. I talked about it after the game on Friday, being aggressive, making these gutsy calls, whatever you want to call them. Some people call them dumb, some people call them aggressive. But, the ability to do that is when you have so much confidence in your kids, and they have so much confidence in themselves. I mean, you're going to talk to two guys today who, whether it's on the, especially, Braxton and Lynn on the defensive side of the ball, I feel pretty good just about calling anything if, I got those two guys out there and Hunter McCluggage. I mean, you start listing off the guys and it's like, man, how do you not feel comfortable every time you make a play call? And then you go to the offensive side of the ball and you got number 12. Well, you're going to be confident with 12. He's shown what he's done. If we're going to throw the ball to Lynn, okay, well, that's a catch. You're going to throw the ball to Brock. Okay, he's got a chance to break it. You're going to throw a deep ball to Zollers. It's going to connect. You call a run game. You look at McKinney, Eastep, Smith, Gallion, Coakley. We got some really good players. It took us, it's taken us, 10 weeks to figure out, ourselves, what we're good at, to figure out our confidence, to get, I don't want to say buy them, but to finally understand what we're trying to do. And this is the best time of year to do that. We're sitting at week 13. I guarantee you there's not a lot of people that after 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks are going to say that we're going to make it to week 13. But, I got all the confidence in the world in these guys. This is a super talented bunch. They're, the ceiling's way up there. I mean, there's a lot of football for these guys that these guys got left to play. There's a lot of potential. There's a lot more growth. I mean, I think our ability to be even better is still there. Offensively, I still don't think we've hit a game where we're like, dang, that's exactly what we wanted. So, sky's the limit for us. And we're gonna have a big matchup this week.
We'll talk a little bit about that matchup, Coach. You're going to be the underdog going into St. Clairsville, but St. Clairsville, not your typical number one seed that most of the regions are going to be seeing. They've got some weaknesses. What are you doing to kind of pinpoint those and work to exploit them?
Yeah, I think what's great about this matchup for us is from our defensive perspective, they're very similar to the first two teams that we've played. They really want to run the ball. They really want to establish the run. They really want to chew clock. And honestly, that's what our defense has been really good at these past, 3, heck, even 4 weeks. We've done a good job of stopping the run. So, we feel good about that matchup, our run defense versus their run offense. We haven't seen, them be able to execute passing, throwing the ball very well. So obviously, our defensive game plan is take away their run, force them to throw the ball, force them to do something they're uncomfortable doing. And then offensively, they got a good box, but they've rotated some guys back there in the secondary. And that's an area that we're looking to exploit if they want to come up and stop the run. We're gonna really work this week on attacking them schematically, whether they're cover 4, whether they're cover 3, whether they're cover 2. We got different schemes in to attack what they're going to do to us on the back end. But again, it feels like a really good matchup for us. And I told the kids, it's going to come down to 3 things. It's going to come down to physicality, it's going to come down to execution, and it's going to come down to who wants it more. And I feel pretty confident with our guys because our guys have shown a lot that they want this. So,
okay, well, Coach, thank you so much for your time today. Good luck against St. Clairsville Friday night.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Here with Lynn Klein and Braxton Blake. Guys, we'll start with Braxton, 10 tackles in that game against East Liverpool. What can you tell us about what was on your mind and what the mindset of the defense was?
They were a great football team. We knew that coming in, and the coaches, they put together a great defensive game plan, and we just had to go out there and be physical.
Okay, Lynn, we'll move to you now. You had the go-ahead touchdown scored in the second half, and really – we kind of knew this was going to be a dogfight, just like we saw against Unioto. What can you first off break down that play, and then just tell us a little bit about what Coach was saying about the offensive side of the ball leading up to that game?
Oh, so that play was basically all linemen making a great hole for me to run through, and Coach was just telling us we got to be physical in them. The most physical team wins, and that's how it came out to be at the end of the game.
Okay, Lynn, it looks like you're getting right back to where you were last year before the injury. What can you tell us about the steps you've taken this year to help this West Holmes team and also get back to that level you were at a season ago?
I'm just trying to be a good captain and try to help lead this team. Everyone's a good leader. Everyone's working together and making this team better.
Braxton, we'll talk with you now about the defense. It seems like every week we see this defense getting better and better and getting those big stomps when they need. What can you tell us about the rest of your squad on the defensive side of the ball there?
Yeah, everyone, you can see it. We're just getting better, and number one thing is just bringing the energy. You got to be excited. You got to bring the energy, hype up your boys, and when you're having fun playing football, it's a lot easier.
Okay, you've got St. Clairsville this week in another win or go home game, a number 1 seed, but this could actually be a very good matchup, we think, just based on the schedules of both these squads. What are you doing to get ready for St. Clairsville?
Same thing. You gotta work hard. Keep getting better every week. You get better, you get worse. So you can't get worse. You got to get better.
Lynn, same question.
Oh, yeah, you got to be more physical, and then that's what we're doing during practice, just being physical and working hard.
Okay, guys, thanks for your time. Good luck on Friday night.
Right, thank you.
Well, if you're looking for high-quality products, make sure you stop by MRV Siding Supply for their quality selection of Pruvia siding, windows, and doors, along with Pruvia metal roofing and Pruvia manufactured siding as well. Stop by and see them. Of course, they have the Cedar Max insulated siding. Stop by and take a look at that, along with plenty of merit-grade products as well at MRV Siding Supply on their web. Of course, mrvsiding.com. That's MRV Siding Supply. Well, West Holmes comes in with a record of 7-5 on the year. They won 3 games in a row, taking on the top-ranked team in the region, St. Clairsville. The Red Devils unbeaten at 12-0 on the season. Of course, coming off that 29-22 playoff victory over Bishop Ready last week to move on to the regional semifinals for the first time since the 2021 season. That game last week, it was Bishop Ready who was down by a touchdown late in the fourth quarter, and had a 1st and 10 at the Red Devil 8-yard line, but 4 straight incomplete passes. The Red Devil defense held strong, and they got the 7-point win to move on to this regional semifinal. semifinal matchup. St. Clairsville, by the way, they have 8 or more wins for now the 8th consecutive year. Their last losing season going all the way back to 2016. It's a great winning tradition for St. Clairsville, who went 9-3 last year in a trip to the regional quarterfinals as well. And this is the third meeting all time between West Holmes and the Red Devils. West Holmes won the previous 2 meetings back in 1991 as well as in 1992. And Will O'Donnell alongside. And Will, how do you size up this matchup on Friday night?
You know, you look at it on paper, you think, boy, 12-0, number 1 seed against 7-5. I don't feel like it's a mismatch. I feel like this is going to be a close football game, but 2 hard-nosed teams that play similar styles of football. And, you know, even though they're number 1 seed and we're the 13, I feel like West Holmes is in a great position. I think 4 quarters of their best football in all 3 phases, and I think it's a winnable football game.
And it seems like West Holmes is playing their best football at the right time of year. 3-0 row here, and this West Holmes team seems like their battle test, as we've talked about so many times this season.
They have it. You can't underestimate, I think, how our conference prepares us for this postseason run. And most teams aren't playing Ashland. They're not playing Worcester. They're not playing a Dover. And I think West Holmes is ready. I think they went into this region confident, and they've done what they expected to do. And I think this week they don't feel like they're the underdog.
Should be a lot of fun. Again, at Woody Hayes Quaker Stadium in New Philadelphia this Friday night. Of course, don't miss it. We'll have all the action on WKLM. We'll be video live streaming that game as well on the WKLM YouTube page, courtesy of the Claxton Communication team. We'll also be on FM 95.3 and WKLM-FM.com. Our hometown football Friday night pregame show begins at 6 p.m. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. For Will O'Donnell, I'm Matt Roy. Special thanks to Jake Seidel, Keaton Levla, along with Lynn Klein and Braxton Blake. And that's been this week's Nice Football Weekly Preview Show, brought to you by MRV Siding Supply.
You've been watching the West Holmes Knights Football Weekly Preview Show, brought to you by MRV Siding Supply.